What's up, guys?
This is what we look like.
Yes.
Yeah. This is me. That's all you need to know.
It's the first episode
of the official
Mr. Joystick podcast.
Finally.
We're here.
I can't clap.
It's in the workings for a while.
So before we go on with anything, I feel I owe it to myself and to Jose to at least try it. If you watch any of our Let's Plays, you know that me and Jose have frequent arguments, and I say that eating regular potato chips with ketchup is weird.
Now, you don't need to scoop it. Just kind of like,
Just dab it?
Dab it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, that's enough. About.
Bob isn't like a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to be surprised about this.
What do you think?
I'm a little embarrassed.
Because it's good.
No, because that's almost exactly how ketchup chips taste. I still prefer the ketchup chips.
Yeah, I prefer the
I wasn't here for the argument, but...
No, yeah, we were just talking about...
It was getting very loud.
Yeah, because we were like, the reason that there's ketchup chips is because someone already had the idea. Like, they tried this shit already.
I've done it before.
Whatever. I've never done that.
We've now had 2 episodes in Let's Plays where we've had that stupid-ass argument.
Really?
One was like Guacamelee episode 3, and then we just filmed the Melee Let's Play that's going to come out soon,
So,
that
our
one
first
is,
topic... Oh, wait, what were we talking
I think
about?
first we should have like a little introduction,
Yeah.
Sync our viewers in, let them
All
know
right.
what we're doing. So, this is the Mr. Joystick Podcast. It may be called the Mr. Joystick Podcast, but we don't always talk about video games. It's going to be a variety. We talk about a lot of things, movies, music,
Anything, really.
TV,
Anything.
the drug dealer that lives across the street from Dylan.
Water.
So, no,
The
we're
drug
not talking
dealer.
about
I have
water.
no idea about that.
Get
but
the fuck out of here with your water discussions. We don't do that shit here.
I'm questioning that.
I feel like we should do like a quick introduction for...
Go around, introduce
for
yourselves.
who we are.
Start off with Jerry. Go.
Okay.
All right, I'm Jerry, and I like purple a lot.
That was great.
That's as Jerry as that introduction was gonna
I'm
get.
very proud,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? All right, Dylan.
My name's Dylan, and everyone thinks I'm Jewish, but I'm
Because he
not.
is Jewish.
I'm not Jewish. I'm
Don't
not.
listen to them.
And I just got over food poisoning, so that's I'll mention that later.
How is that? I completely forgot about
My
that.
stomach hurts. Go on, next.
Hello, I'm Joey.
You need to do the fix, Mom. You can just like...
This isn't a headshot.
Joey's like, I'm in my acting phase. Like, no.
As Dylan said, I'm the actor of the group.
As Dylan said.
I'm normally really busy, and as to Jose and many others, I'm the RAR of the group.
The wrong.
All right,
Everybody needs
so
a bar.
I'm Jose, and I'm the one who will say the honest thing to your face. That's pretty much it.
There's one word that will describe Jose, and that is a word we like to call
Gay.
Savage.
that's a good one. Savage would be the one.
To be fair, savage ends with GE, and in some cases it's pronounced gay.
Or as rich people say it, savage.
Savage.
And I'm Bobby. I just do all the
He's
Editing.
the one who does all of this.
He's all of it.
Editing, leader.
film student.
Yeah.
I make it happen, baby.
Yeah.
So, our first topic, I was thinking of the movie. What?
Swallow the chip. Swallow
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
I was freaking out the
What's the name of the movie with Christian Bale and Jeremy
Batman.
Renner?
Toy Story.
Batman.
American Hustle.
Okay, yeah.
And there was one scene where
There's more people in that, but
where
okay.
Jennifer Lawrence, she says they bought the microwave. It was when the microwaves were up and popping and they first came out. Where she was like, it sucks out all the nutrients from the food. And like every time I see that scene, it reminds me of like Spanish parents
Yeah.
where they say like dumb shit and they figure they think it's like true, like it's factual. Like I remember one time.
Stand in front of a microwave, you'll get cancer.
Like
I heard that.
Yeah, my
I never
mom,
heard that one.
Like
I've heard that one.
my mom, she would tell me, she was like, "Hey, when you're gonna put something in the microwave, cover it with a plate." And then I was like, "Mom, that's not how it works." She's like, "Yeah, it's radiation," and I'm like, "It's not that type of radiation."
No, I was told that just because my mom told me that it just explode. That's what I thought. And then one time I put like Chinese food in there and nothing happened, and I'm like, huh, I've been lied to.
You know what I heard
My
once?
entire
How
life.
old were you?
You know
when you
you know
first
how-
used a microwave.
What do you mean?
How old were you when you had that experience?
I don't know. Like a couple years ago.
What?
No, because like because I don't microwave stuff that often. So
Right.
when I microwaved it, I was like, I always put a plate just because it's like, hey, whatever. Because
So your fear was if you didn't put a plate on it, you'd explode.
Well, sometimes I wouldn't, but like if I was heating something up for more than like 3 minutes or something, that it would explode.
I still low key have that fear. Like
Yeah.
I don't stand too close to my
Yeah.
microwave.
No, like honestly, like if I'm like a hot pocket or something, or just like something for like 30 seconds, I'll just I wouldn't do that. But if I'm heating up like Chinese food for like 4 minutes, I'm just like, all right, plate. I don't want to die. Like
You know what I heard once? I forgot who told me. Someone in my family. They were like, they saw on like TV or something on like a Spanish news channel how like if you cover the food that you're microwaving with the like plastic plate thing that it comes with, that the plastic melts and falls on your food.
Yeah.
Like residue.
Well, I mean, if you're using it for like 20 minutes, yeah, plastic melts.
Yeah.
Not like.
And I remember I got into this big discussion with my dad, and I was trying to explain to him that you can't light paper on fire in a microwave. I had to explain to him how a fucking microwave. Like I was like, Bob, this is how a microwave works. It heats up the water in your food, and that's it. That's all it does.
I remember we went on vacation once as me and my family, and my cousin Felix fucking he wanted to make himself like a can of fucking SpaghettiOs, and he put the full can in the microwave and like pressed the button, and it was spinning for like a solid 10 seconds before my dad is like, "Are you a fucking idiot?"
Wouldn't it explode before that? Or like something would happen?
Speaking of
It would be
microwaves and
electric.
exploding,
Yeah.
there
What'd
was
you
this
do?
one time, like, I normally like heating up anything that's cold. Even like, I would buy cookies, soft cookies.
And then heat it
I'd
up for like 10 seconds? Or
and
something?
heat it up
Yeah,
for
I'm
like
the same
10
way.
seconds. So it's like a nice warm cookie. So once there was this cookie and it came in like a little plastic, like little wrapping. I didn't think anything of it, and I was too lazy to get a plate. That I just put the cookie on top of the wrapping, and I put it in the microwave.
Was it foil?
And it started, yeah, it was foil. It was foil, and the microwave started going crazy. It was making all these like white lights going, and I freaked the fuck out. I
Yeah,
opened it and
that happens.
ran. I didn't even check if my food inside was. I opened it and I ran, thinking that like I set a bomb and I had to get out the house as soon as possible.
Now that he's talking about foil, I don't know. This is a little bit off topic, but you know, Easy Passes. When you buy an Easy Pass, it comes with like this weird foil around it.
Yeah, it's so like it doesn't attract, like not attract, but
It doesn't
register to other
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
I didn't know that, and I didn't believe it. My dad, he told me, he was like, you know what? I don't have enough funds in the Easy Pass, so I'm gonna pay cash. And he was like, hand me the little wrapper. I'm like, for what? He's like, so it doesn't register. And then I was like, this is not gonna do anything. And he's like, that's what it's for, and you're gonna see. And I'm like, I don't believe it. So we passed by the thing, and even if you pass by the regular Easy Pass,
You can still do the.
you can still pay cash. So like the thing didn't register. He paid cash, and he left, and he was like, you see, I'm not always wrong. And then I'm like,
What was I gonna say?
But he
I want
said
to
it
go
in
back to
Spanish.
microwaves. I think you were here, Jerry. I think it was you, me, and Jessica that we were here, and my dad put like a bag of popcorn in the microwave for way too long.
Yeah,
like, it
I
was
was
like
here too.
You were there too.
Yeah,
it was
he
like
put it
5
for, like,
minutes,
5 minutes.
and like the house just starts smoking, and we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's like, "Oh shit!" And he like opens the microwave door, and it's just like puffs of smoke
my
coming out
God.
everywhere. It was the worst. We had to buy a new microwave.
There were 3 good pieces of popcorn in that.
There was no
Everything
good
else-
pieces.
I
of
remember
popcorn.
Everything
this
else
now.
is just
Yes.
burnt. Like just.
I think like we were having people who were gonna come over too, but like it was just us at that point, and that's when it happened.
now you're talking about burnt food.
The segues on point.
No, remember when your pops, he had a chicken, a frying. We completely forgot. I think we were playing a Sports Friends,
Okay.
and he left the chicken there. It was frying, and like we didn't even remember. Then the room started to fill up with smoke.
yeah,
And then we were like,
we had to like open all the
"Aw,
doors and shit.
And we see it. It's just like charcoal pieces, and his dad still made us eat it.
Oh
I
wow.
was just kind of like, all right, just give me.
My
ketchup,
dad's a
I'll eat it."
chef, by the way, so
Yeah.
he cooks us a lot of things from
Shout
time
out.
to time.
Shout outs to Bob.
Usually
Big
not
Bob.
burned.
Big Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
So yeah,
Oh, I want to say another microwave. So I don't know. This is the fucking microwave podcast.
I don't know. It's just,
Sponsored by microwaves. Just in general, not a brand, just microwaves. I had a friend who told me about his friend, because his friend's fucking fucked up, put his cat in the microwave.
What?
Yeah.
How come I've never heard this? Were you saving this for like 8 years?
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
for this-
once
just
we
for
get the
this moment.
podcast, I'm telling the
The
cat
cat
getting
didn't
baked.
die, but it suffered severe mental disability. So now apparently the cat just kind of like sits in his friend's basement and just kind of like stares at the wall and will like occasionally.
That's
just,
really
like,
sad.
look up.
oh my,
That's super sad.
The camera just cut off.
did it?
So, yeah.
Go fix
Oh wait,
it.
is it still recording?
Nope.
Oh,
Go fix it.
The audio's still up. So.
Go
all right.
fix it.
Just put like a happy face over it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the camera cut out? Ah.
I think I ran out of battery.
Why do you? Oh, there's no way to wire it.
So this is gonna be an audio podcast.
Huh? All right. All right.
Yeah.
Cuts back up.
That works.
That's fine.
Oh yeah. Our other topic was it mafiosos?
Okay.
So me, Dylan, and Bobby, we all went to the same school. I don't know if I want to say it or not, but
Yeah.
we
Anonymous school.
East High.
we went to the same school and we had this teacher. His name was Mr. Diorio. I feel like it's fair to say his name.
Yeah, his name. He's a legend.
Yeah. Mr. Diorio, super, big Italian guy, super stereotypical Italian, but somehow weirdly professional.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
And he had weird mannerisms when he would teach. And one of them was that he would go up to the kids when they were fooling around, and he would give them a little love tap on their face. He'd be like, "Hey, come here," and just smack them in their face
Just
one or
little.
two. Not like abusive or anything, just like playful.
Yeah.
And sometimes whenever you would say corny joke, he'd be like, "That's funny. I'm laughing."
This is the worst part to not have video too.
Yeah, no, it's just like some Italian guys. Like, it's
We'll put the video up in like a few minutes. Just
Yeah,
let it
that
charge
works.
a little bit.
Yeah.
For now, this is just a picture of.
I'm
I'm gonna take a still image of this podcast.
Can it just can it just be like Gary from SpongeBob? You know the pet.
Okay. Fine.
Just Gary on the mic.
Okay.
Gary on the mic. Yeah.
Okay. That's what it's gonna be. Gary doing his slam poetry.
Okay,
Yeah.
right here, have him spin. All right, we're good. Let's go.
So,
Thanks, man. Thanks, bro. You want me to Michael Bay that shit too? Put some lens flares and some explosions.
Okay, I have a picture of a banana, but then banana has
Shut the fuck
arms
up,
and-
Dylan, because I'm gonna end up having to do this.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. Don't do it. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Diorio, big Italian guy, and I remember one time in economics because I had a lot of questions, and I told him, I asked him, I was like, "Mr. Diorio, what if I wanted to get away with tax evasion?" I was like, I asked him.
You know, federal offense.
Yeah,
Gotta
I-
ask teacher.
I asked him, and I figured, maybe he has the answer. So then he goes, "Well, Jose, if I told you the answer, I'd have to kill you." And he says it in the most Italian way. And then I'm like, "All right, Mr. Diorio, what if I had a friend who was gonna start a business and wanted to, he needed a way to, get
Claim
away
less
with
money.
tax evasion."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, well, if it was your friend, what you have to do is just funnel your fun." I'm not gonna say it because I feel like it's inappropriate for a podcast. I'm not gonna tell people how to evade taxes. Well,
I don't know. Just claim less. It works.
yeah. Point is that he told
First
me.
episode, when we're already getting into how to break federal offenses.
Yeah.
Am I right?
So
Start off with a bang.
and then he gave me the answer, and he was like, "Yeah, so that's how you do it."
That's not a bang, Joe. That's an explosion.
He was like, that's how your friends should do it. And he gives me the most subtle wink, and I was like, I fucking
Yeah.
love this guy.
Just imagine The Godfather. If you've ever seen The
Yeah.
Godfather, that's this guy.
I actually
This
have a
guy.
really similar high school story. I had a chemistry teacher, and we had like a stupid kid in the class who was like, "Yo, Miss." I said her name, and I'll bleep it
That's
out.
fine. No, it's fine. Leave
was
it.
like,
It's okay.
yo.
What are they gonna do? Google Map it?
She was like, the guy was like,
Fuck it, man.
yo, when do we learn how to make meth? And she straight up was like, now listen, we have the tools to do it. I'm not gonna act like I don't know how to create meth in the lab right there. And I probably could make a lot of money doing it, but I'm not because I have too much to live for. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you need to bleep out her name.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Bleep out her name.
Okay, so yeah, bleeps. 2 bleeps already. Sorry about that.
I have a high school story I'm gonna tell about my teacher. So another like Italian guy. Let's call him Baraba.
Brought to you,
Yo, Mr. Bottom
So
Mr. Bottom
this podcast sponsored by Italians.
And my-
Hey, yo, hey!
hey, spicy
Mr.
meatball.
Let's call him Mario.
all right.
And so, anyways,
Mr.
Mr. Baraba, he always found like little things for each student and would pick on them.
Hold on, pause. Can we call him BDB?
BDB.
BDB.
Okay. So Mr. BDB, he would find things in the class, people in the class, and would pick on them. He never really found anything for me. He normally left me alone, but he would go like, oh, you suck at this club, or you join this club, or oh, your face, or your hair. And there was this one kid, it was like this Polish kid, and he would pick on him, but the Polish kid had like such an ego that he would go back, and like then it stopped being like for the rest of the time we had him, it was just him and the Polish kid. And he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I can have you fired. Blah 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 blah. And BDB is like, no, your forehead is so big.
I can just picture some Italian guy go, your forehead is so big.
And honestly, like the first couple of weeks, I thought he was kind of like mean. I was like, it's true, but like the Polish kid kept going back and forth with him to the point where I was like, he was asking for it, and he would like go back and forth. He's like, no, you're an idiot. You're like, everyone in this class is an idiot. He would say, the Polish kid, and BDB is like, and then there was something that happened, but I remember the Polish kid said something to him. And he just started chuckling, and everyone in the class is waiting for him to say something. And he just says, like, it was dead silence. You can hear a pin drop, and he's like, nobody likes you.
God.
You realize that, right? Nobody likes you.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was like,
You feel it, like,
Yo, I didn't know Jose was a teacher.
Yo, wait. Hold on. Kid Dylan, can you tell your story about when there was the teacher that didn't like the one student?
oh my God, yes.
that one?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I might have told everyone this story. I'm not sure, but this is back in 7th grade. Now my
Oh yes.
yeah,
That's
fine
my
news story.
favorite story.
So I had this social studies teacher that I had in like my 5th grade, 6th grade, but then she had a kid, so when she left, now I got this new teacher. His name was Mr. Yancic. 6'2", 300 and something pounds, big fat guy with a beard. And I'm like, all right, this guy's cool. So I had this kid in my class who was half white, half Puerto Rican. His name was, I don't want to say his name. Let's just say his name was Anthony. That was his real name. Fuck him. I don't care. Do I care really? I don't. He's not gonna watch this. And if you do, you still look stupid. So,
Jesus.
so this kid, he was like kind of a bully, not really though, because like no one really fought, but he would make fun of people, and he thought he was ghetto too. So know how like people always like have those dumb haircuts with like lines in the hair and stuff. He would always do that like every month. He'd get like a fade and then like lines here and there.
Right.
So this one day he comes into the school and he comes in with huge arrows, like just on the side of his head, like lightning bolts, just going like crossing. And I was always like the shy, quiet kid that didn't say anything. So he comes in with this haircut, and we're in the middle of social studies class. We're learning about, like Sparta and shit. And everyone's like, "What's your hair? Why do you have arrow? What are those? Are they threes? What are threes?" And quiet me from the back of the class, I yell, "Yo, that's his average, 33." And everyone's like, like stereotypical fashion. Everyone's like, oh, and I've never said anything in my life. Yeah. So then my teacher, just dead eyes, goes, "Dylan, outside now!" And I've really never been in trouble before, so I'm just like, what? Like I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared, not really, but like have you ever been in like trouble when you were little?
Yeah, you have that feeling in the bottom of your stomach.
Sinking feeling, and you're like, damn. So I walk outside, and then he slams the door, and we walk like a little bit over, and he goes, "Dylan, listen, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life." And my face is lit up, and he's like, "I thought there were arrows that said insert in brain here. The kid's a fucking idiot." And I'm like, yes!
Man, that teacher, man.
And I had comebacks. They were probably shitty because I was, 11, 12, 12 or something. But then he was making fun of how fat he was. He probably has, 20 Twinkies a day. And I'm like, he's fat too, but okay.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing about it. And he was like, "No, listen. You have to act like I just ruined your life out here. That I just made, that I just, sent you to the principal's office. Like, oh, this crazy crap. You ready?" And I'm like, okay. So we walk back in. I have my head down, but I'm, kind of laughing. Because I'm just like, I can't. And so I get back to my desk, and he's like, all right, back to, the lesson. And I take my book, and I throw it across the class. And he's like, "Dylan, get over yourself." Now, back to the lesson. And at the end of the class, I think one of my friends in my school came up to me, and he was like, he sat next to me, and he was like, "Did he really yell at you?" And I'm like, "No, he just made fun of how dumb he was."
Jesus.
And that day, changed my life.
Oh, great.
Oh, awesome.
Unprofessional.
Dylan, the real
Now for a
actor
commercial pause. What is it? This pause sponsored by Verizon Wireless. It's not really. Sorry, Verizon Wireless. Please don't.
Hold on, let's see what the voicemail says.
Shh.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like, have you ever played like The Sims? And you know when you like
It's
when
like the gibberish.
yeah, the police radar when it's like you know what I'm talking about?
That sounded like that circular.
Batman.
But
Batman.
you know what I'm talking about, right? When the stock sound for like a police radar or police sound is like 20 something
You know, like yeah, I don't know. It sounds like that.
So what were you gonna say, Joe?
So I wanted to bring this back to Dylan. So he told you to like, all right, pretend like I just ruined your life. You went back to your seat and you threw your desks across the classroom.
I took my book.
He threw his book.
I threw my book and I kind of I didn't throw it far, but I threw it with like because I sat near the back, so I yelled it from the back. So I just threw it against the back wall.
That was a little. You could have just said that. I felt like that was a little over exaggerated.
Yeah, well,
Who's the real actor here?
Yo, look at him.
I was mad. He just yelled at me. Wink, wink.
I wasn't gonna say.
Oh yeah, no, but
Right,
do you
you're gonna
remember you
pretend
played?
that he
You
comes
played
in like-
Sims. Yeah,
Before we get into The Sims, I want to say one last school story. I had a story.
Oh wait, no, I have all
Jerry
this school
has
stories.
Jerry has to say a school story.
Yeah, we all.
Wait, what? No, Bobby, go.
Yeah, go,
Real
go,
quick.
Go.
I had a teacher who was very senile. He was old, you know.
Yeah.
He was my U.S. history teacher, and fucking there was this kid in my class who was like really funny, like you know the kind of guy who just the class clown, I guess you'd say. But he took jokes way too far. And one day he like it would always be like me, him, and then like two other guys, and we would just kind of like talk in his class. And then one day he was like this Polish kid. He's like, yo, I'm gonna get the sickest detention right now. And we're like, what the fuck are you gonna do, dude? He's like,
You hear his voice.
check this shit out.
Yo.
So he goes, takes his fucking pencil and launches it like right at the board where the guy is like writing something, and he goes, who threw that? He's like, my bad, I dropped my pencil. So he gets up and goes to pick up his pencil, and he's like, why would you throw that? And like, let's say his name's Billy. Like, why would you throw that, Billy? And he's like, I'm sorry. Let me just get my pencil. I didn't mean to drop it. And then like he bends over like mad seductively and starts waving his ass in front of like this teacher. And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I bet you want to grab that tight little ass.
What grade is this?
This was like junior year, and the kid basically got detention. He got suspended that day.
Wow.
It's so worth it though, because that's one of the.
Okay,
funniest
Bobby,
things
can I
I've
ask something right now?
Yeah.
I've never heard this story. Can you text me who that was?
Yeah, I got you right now.
Please, that's hysterical.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll believe it or not. But
No. Okay. Also, about The Sims. Remember like when someone would call the phone?
I
And
don't remember super good details.
No,
but-
because like they did that with everything, and like The Sims had their own language, and they'd be like, it sounded like Doodle Bob, like that. Just it was just that on the on the phone.
Oh, Bob, do you
I
want
don't
to
know
say?
his last name. You'll probably know.
Do you want to say your
Jay-
school story with the water bottles?
No.
Remember the kid that
Jerry
would
be
bring
like, my school
progressively-
story.
Oh, that's Dylan's story. That's Dylan's story.
Okay, Jerry, maybe Joey the next. Okay.
Jerry be like,
Hold
my
on,
s-
before you
my
look,
school-
read the text. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Jerry be like,
so,
my school story. Kid got stabbed.
No joke, at my school though, like some gang members came from like another high school, like I think from like. Okay, so let me not say the high school, but
Monster High.
Another ghetto high school.
yeah, they came from another ghetto high school, and they came in through like 3 entrances from the school, and they had like a huge fight with like some kids from my school, and there was like blood like splattered all down the hallways. It was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, they like closed off like the whole first floor.
What?
Yeah.
Jerry was like, I saw it on my way to PE. It was crazy.
Yo, I was leaving Spanish class. They didn't let us walk on the first floor.
You were like, adios mio, and you like ran out.
That's crazy,
Do you,
man.
do you know the name of the gang?
No.
That reminds me of that story that your brother told us at. Well,
It
Whoops.
was the Gangrene Gang.
well, it doesn't
Bleep
really
that
matter.
one out.
Andy went to a high school, and apparently some kid got hit with a hammer,
Yeah.
and like all the blood splattered on the window of.
Oh yeah, and
of
he
the
told me
door.
another story about how
crazy.
like I think someone bashed another student's head against the water fountain. And like opened up their like a huge gash.
Yeah, you know.
All right, you want to
crazy.
finish your Sims thing that you've been
Public
trying
No,
to?
no, it's fine. I already
alright.
said it.
He said it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's whatever.
So
The water bottle. The water bottle.
Okay, so there was this kid that was in our high school, another high school story.
This was in the class that me and Dylan met. Was this?
Oh, it was in another section of the class.
Okay,
So it was
okay.
like the class after us.
Okay.
So we had like this kind of old biology teacher.
Oh,
Not
she was
that-
old.
Yeah,
Super
smelled
old.
like cats, but she loved me. Hey, that's another story.
Dylan's cherub.
Yeah, she called me her angel, and it was great. And I showed up like half late one time, And she's like, what happened? I'm like, my locker got up. She's like, that's fine, my little angel. And
No,
I'm like,
you were her cherub. Let's
Yeah.
be for real.
cherub. And it's like, what's a cherub? She's like, that fat baby thing. And I'm like,
Okay.
at least you saw my fat cheek. So yeah, there was this kid in the other class, and he was kind of an asshole. He ended up getting expelled, I think.
Yeah.
But this is freshman year, and he comes in with like one of those like little tiny water bottles, you know, those little ones. And she's like, not to say anything,
Oh,
but
I remember this story.
we're not allowed to, you know, have any water bottles in school. You know, you're not allowed to have them in the class. And he's like, oh, okay, you know, put it away. Next day, he shows up with a regular sized water bottle. And it's like, okay. And she's like, you know, you're not allowed to have that. But I don't think, you know, he never put it away. The day after that, this is a Friday, and he comes in with a bigger water bottle, like even bigger. And she's like, you know, you can't really do that. You know, that's not allowed. He's like, okay. The next Monday, this kid comes in with a 2-liter bottle of Coke and just slams it on their desk. And he just did that the entire day, just holding just with that Coke on his desk. I'm like,
I thought he was gonna take one of those office waters.
Brings the water cooler. I have to say, as much of an asshole that kid was, because I knew him, that kid was fucking funny.
yeah. So like, and Bobby texted me the kid that did that thing in his U.S. history class. That kid's also really funny.
That kid is hysterical. That kid saved another kid's life in our lunchroom that was choking, and he gave him the Heimlich.
Yeah.
And they put him in like the school newspaper. It was like so hot shit. And he walks into my religion class one day because we went to Catholic school, and the teacher's like, I'll just say his name is like Frank. He's like, Frank, I saw what you did in the newspaper, and he's like, oh, excuse me, my name is Hero now. You will address me as such.
But like, he didn't say, he never he was kind of like low, you know, he wasn't really loud.
Yeah.
I guess so. He said everything with like a calm, like monotone voice too.
He turned around because I sat behind him one day, and he's like, "Yo, you know Dylan Diaz, right?" It's like, "Yeah, he's my best friend." He's like, "I heard you make movies." It's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I be in one of your movies?" I was like,
Oh yeah,
sure thing, man." Can I? Oh, I have a funny story about
and
that.
also he wanted it to be about weed. I remember that.
Yeah.
He came up. And he's
I
like,
have a funny story. That teacher, we had another kid who would always show up super late to that class, and he had a backpack that had a boom box in it. So you like plug a wire into your phone, and your backpack would play music. It was basically act that as a speaker. And he showed up to class. Like, he would always show up like 20 minutes late, and it would piss the teacher off. But one day he showed up to class like a solid 45 minutes late, and thought he could just like get away with it and sit down. And the teacher tried to be like really nice about it, but he was super angry. So he goes, "You take you and your funky bag and get out of here."
I know who this is.
And then for the rest of the year, people would pick on that kid and be like, yo, look, he brought his funky bag. He brought his collision. Fun fact, that teacher was the first teacher that ever yelled at Dylan, because Dylan was at my locker one day.
Oh,
and
yeah!
Dylan said something
know
like,
who
yeah,
this
that guy's a fucking asshole. And I turned to the right to put something in my locker, and when I turned to the left, Dylan was gone. And Dylan was in the classroom behind me getting chewed the fuck out by this teacher. And he's
Yo.
like, this is my school.
Yo,
These are
that
my
was-
rules. You will
that
not
was
curse in
bad.
my
Hold on,
school.
is this V Man?
A V, man.
Yeah, I don't want to say his
No,
last
that's not
name.
him.
No,
Oh, it's not him.
No.
Okay.
And this guy actually,
Yeah,
the
funky
teacher
bag.
actually, I became his favorite student the next year, and he totally forgot about the whole thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
good that no one remembers me getting roasted. But back to that whole story. I remember I walked into a psychology class, and that same kid from before. This is like the 8th story we're telling about this kid.
That's fine. He's funny.
And it was him and another kid from the baseball team, and they were arguing about what the gooch was called.
It's the ABC, the ass ball.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they were like, no, it's the taint. It's the gooch. It's the taint. And they argued for like 3 minutes in the middle of psych. And I'm like, it's also the ABC. He's like, what's that? I'm like, the ass to ball connection. And he's like, true.
Like, I have another funny school story. It's about Mr. Diorio again. I remember I used to be really good friends with Mr. Diorio. We were really cool. But I remember I used to sit in the back part of the class, and I remember one time I called him. I was like, "Oh, what's up, Mr. Oreo?" And I called him Mr. Oreo, and he was like, "What'd you call me?" And I was like, Mr. Oreo. He was like, "Get out of my class right now." He was like super offended. This guy. I was like, "Oh shit, all right." So then I get outside, and I'm in the hallway. But in the way our school is set up is that the lockers are right on the other side of the classroom.
Yeah.
So I was just like banging on the lockers just to fuck around with him. And so Mrs. Diori was getting really fed up. So he opens up the door really fast and he's like, "You go down to the dean's office." And then I was like, shit. Sorry. Oh God. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm in real big trouble. So then like I took my detention or whatever, and I came back, and he was like, "You're a sweet kid, Jose. You're one of my favorite students. But you gotta understand that you can't play like that." And I was like, "All right, Mrs. Dior, I understand." And then after that, like I started calling him Godfather, and he loved it.
Did anybody else but me and Jose ever get kicked out of a class?
You guys ever gotten kicked out?
Like kicked out of a class, like you were no longer part of that class, or
No,
kicked
like-
out as in like
Like
get
you got
out
in
for the
trouble
day?
and you got to
Mhm.
get out.
In 6th grade.
Not like I meant in high school.
Oh no.
Nah, I'm too
I had
quiet for
detention
that.
a lot, but only because I was late.
You know what?
Nah.
I have an interesting story about that because this chick's fucking crazy. My chemistry teacher, the woman who I bleeped, who makes
Yeah.
meth or whatever, doesn't make meth, knows how to make it. Let me preface.
No,
that.
she makes it.
No,
That's
she
why
does.
the
I had an injury and I was on crutches for a while, and basically there was like some water on the floor in the lab, and I slipped on it and I started to like fall, so I had to like grab there was like a shelf or like a counter to like position myself, and she like turned around real quick and saw me like stumble, and she's like, "Are you fucking dancing in the chemistry lab?" And I was like, I literally said it to her face. I was like, "I am on crutches. How do you think I'm dancing in the lab?" She goes, "Get your ass into the classroom now," because our classroom was like adjacent to the chemistry lab. You just had to walk through a door. So I had to sit in the classroom for the rest of the day. And then she came like once everybody left. She's like, "I'm sorry, I was having a bad day. I didn't mean that." And I was like, "You already embarrassed me in front of everybody."
not only I am injured.
It's like,
That's like going to a person in a wheelchair and be like, "Stop sitting down." It's like that's fucked up. It's like that's messed up.
I'm sorry, I had a bad day. I know you can't stand up.
Yeah. It's like I can't stand being in a wheelchair. It's like
Hashtag Kanye West.
What?
Ah, yeah.
Two
remember
problems. Remember his two run-ins with people in wheelchairs? He played a whole team, a wheelchair team of kids, and he scored like 100 points against them.
That's the most Kanye thing ever.
And you know what
Was
he
he in
said?
a wheelchair too?
No, he wasn't in a wheelchair. He scored 100 points,
Yo, I
and
just
he
broke
was like,
your axles. What
that
up?
is one of the most Kanye things.
he said something like, his excuse was something like, "It's not my fault they're in a wheelchair." I was like, holy shit,
my
this guy
God.
doesn't give a fuck. And then the other one with the person in the wheelchair,
That's the one I
it was at a
remember.
concert, and he told the person, I think he told him something like, "Get up." Like,
Yeah, he wanted everyone to stand up.
He
And
wanted-
the guy in the wheelchair, he can't stand up.
yeah.
And he
So
told the kid to
fucked up.
stand up, and I think he didn't stand up, so he left. Like he just walked off the stage. He was like, "I'm not
God,
performing."
Wow,
My
that's
God.
Kanye.
Speaking of famous people, did you guys hear what happened with Johnny Depp?
No,
I feel like I did.
Okay, so he's filming a movie right now in Australia. You know, he's
Okay.
always filming weird movies. So his wife got on a private jet to go see him and have a little vacation in Australia
Yeah.
with her 2 dogs. Now, Australia has this rule where you're not allowed to bring animals into the country without knowing them, and the animals have to go into like this 2-week like vet visit and like a quarantine thing.
That's mad old though.
What do you mean?
The whole Australia.
Yeah, but it's still the law though.
Okay.
You're not allowed to bring in animals. You have to check them in
Yeah.
through like customs and stuff, but they didn't. So now they were facing like 5 charges, one of them being like a felony and all of this, but it ended up being dropped, so they just had to pay a fine, and they couldn't leave for a couple of days or whatever.
Yeah.
So they made this really awkward video of them just looking down into a camera of like this rehearsed apology that's like like minutes long. And it's like, "We are very sorry about this. Australia is a vibrant and voluptuous country and shit."
Voluptuous.
Like,
Voluptuous.
it's so weird, and I'm like, it's like
Australians got some nice
it's like
titties, you know what I mean?
It's like honestly, like no one would have known about it if you didn't make a dumbass apology video. And it's weird because now people who make apology videos just get roasted for apologizing.
Yeah.
It's like just now, like I remember, what was it? Sony did the thing where they tried trademarking Let's Play.
I remember that.
God
Motherfucker.
damn it.
Okay. So
Keep
I'm gonna
Let's talk
talk
over it,
over this. So what happened was, instead of making an apology video, they just didn't mention it, and everyone forgot about it.
All right, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, but and other people try making apology videos. For example, the Fine Bros, and
They got
crap
fucked over.
happened.
But they fucked up with
They
that
did.
one, man.
They did.
Super
I mean,
fucked up.
I think what happened when it stopped was when people started like making fun of like the actual guys and shit, and it's like, look at his forehead, and she looks like a fucking toad. I'm like, all right, we're getting a little like, what's the real reason behind this? Like, we don't agree with them, but like
You can't just get on the internet and be like, you look like a fucking.
I mean, you could.
You could.
No, you could obviously, but it's not gonna get you anywhere with like, yeah.
Whatchamacallit, yeah.
What are you gonna, okay. So I have,
Whatchamacallit?
I have another story. It's another school story. It was about. It was actually April Fool's. It was my birthday, and we had school, and I was one of the cool kids. So I remember one time we were trying to see if we can do a prank, and then nobody could figure it out. And I just told people, I was like, guys, because in my middle school we used to have this folder that we would carry around. And the folder, each teacher would give us like a grade for how well we behaved in that class for the day. And I remember I was like,
Held secret government files.
I was like, let's get it, let's get every teacher in it, and let's tell them to give us horrible grades. Let's tell them to give us Fs, and that's what we did. It was like maybe like all 5 of the teachers gave us Fs, and towards the end of the year we met up with our homeroom teacher because that's how it ended. And we all started screaming and stuff, and we had someone do a fake argument. And then the dean came over, and the dean was in on it too. I don't know how the fuck the dean got into it, but she was in with the joke. And then, like, when the dean and the principal came in, we were like, ah! Like, we all started clapping because it was all a fucking joke. And our teacher still didn't understand. And then I was like, no, we decided we were going to do a prank because it's April Fool's Day. And then everybody was like, oh, is this...
Yeah, it's back on.
Oh, hey,
hey, the
everybody.
video's back.
Joey was caressing my nipple.
For the whole, like, 20
Johnny Depp
minutes.
with that hat.
Go on.
And then, so then everybody was like, no, we didn't want to do a senior prank. We didn't want to do a April Fool's prank. You wanted to do an April Fool's prank. So then they all kind of blamed it on me.
Wow.
They weren't mad. They were just kind of like, that was your idea? And I was like, well, yeah. And then they were like, that was a good one. And I was like,
Wait, what
okay.
was the prank though?
No, we would, because like I said, we had a folder that we would carry around that had grades on it for each teacher.
Yeah.
And we told each teacher to give us an F and a horrible comment. And our homeroom teacher was really pissed. She didn't understand.
Oh, so like you all got in trouble.
Yeah, she didn't understand.
okay.
She didn't understand why we got F. She was like, "Oh my god!" And she sat us all down.
So you
She
started
was being
acting
really
bad as
strict.
again.
Yeah, and then we had 2 people in the background start arguing. We all started yelling. The dean and the principal came in. They were all in on the joke.
Yeah.
And then they all blamed it on me.
Gosh.
And then I was like,
But it's my birthday.
"Yeah."
It's like,
A cool prank that happened at my brother's high school was that for the senior prank, this happened when my brother was a freshman. But my brother's high school was like not like synonymous with like the high school prank, senior prank. So what they did was they took like grease and put it on all of the railings in the entire school and on all of the staircases. They put just grease and like oil all over the place.
my
People were
favorite movie.
I have to deal with this. That's worse than Jerry's jokes. And
Is
then
it? Jerry's jokes are actual feces, but we'll get to that on another
poop.
time.
And then the year after that, they put laxatives in all the ketchup and mustard machines.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is evil
That's
at
wrong.
this point.
Speaking of ketchup and railings, you ever
You know those
you ever
ketchup
come back-
railings?
They
Speaking of
take
ketchup
little
and
ketchup packets and they put them on, like,
Yeah,
on the
I
railings.
know exactly what
It's
you're talking
especially
about.
bad when the railings are red and then you like touch it and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
ketchup on my hands.
yeah.
Why?
Is that a thing people do?
No, yeah,
That's
A
a
red railing.
in public
ketchup.
public
fuck?
schools are pretty
Oh,
fucked
that
up.
makes
Yeah.
So public schools, they would put, because they used to do it in my middle school, they used to put ketchup or like mustard or whatever
yeah,
they could find.
whatever.
They used to put it on the railings, and sometimes you're running down and you have to grab on the rails. You don't bust your ass. You're just running down and you're grabbing on the railing. Then all of a sudden
They
you're
can
like,
put it on like the
Ugh.
opposite side, or
Yeah.
if it blended in.
yeah.
They put it on.
And you're just like, oh fuck. And you're just kind of running through the hallway like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Like wiping it on the walls.
In
and
our
stuff.
high school, the big senior prank was always trying to steal the baby Jesus from the Christmas display. So people would try to steal it and then hide it and then like try to get things from the teachers to give it back like anonymously. Like they'd be like, give us free fries for the rest of the month or,
Or
some
like,
shit like
or
that.
ransom letters. It's like we want this.
Yeah.
Speaking of pranks, you know how in our school there was always a statue of Mary.
Yeah.
You know what someone did one time? They super glued a dildo
I never heard of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, they super glued a dildo to Mary's hands. You know how she's like that?
Joey's face.
Yeah, they super glued a dildo to Mary's hands, and I saw it one day, and I was walking with one of my
Was
friends.
it like a plastic or was it like a floppy?
It was like a little. It was like a tiny one. It was like
Oh.
maybe that big. It was a little.
That's not a good dildo.
Yeah, no, it was maybe like 97.
It's not a good dildo.
Joe freaking
It was-
Dylan's
it's
over here
not,
rating
it's
the
not.
dildo.
It was
That's not
all
a
right.
good
Fine.
dildo.
Solid
Nu-
3 out of 10.
Numerical value, maybe it was like 7 inches. So it was like a.
That's
7,
not small. That's
It was
not
like,
small.
it's
not
like
small.
It's like pretty that. It's like that big, right? It's
Okay.
like about. So it was in her hands, and I remember I was walking with my friend. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then he was like, and then I noticed. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Who the fuck?
That's
What's that?"
fucked up.
And
That's
they put
wrong.
it. It was a dildo on Mary's hand, and I was like, "Oh my
That's
god!"
Jesus.
And like people are dumb because it's like the school had cameras. Like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if they caught them or not. I don't think
That's
they caught
interesting,
them.
man.
a
But-
prank.
Super gluing a fucking dildo to a statue
Yeah,
of marriage.
whatchamacallit. A prank that happened in my school was a kid shat himself.
Shat himself or
That's a
shot
prank.
himself?
He shat himself.
It's
He
a
shit
prank,
himself.
bro.
Speaking of shitting,
hey
yourself-
guys, I have diarrhea. April Fool.
He just stands up in the fucking like lunchroom. He's like,
And then-
I'm about to shit my pants.
and then all you hear is like the wettest fart, like
Speaking of like pranks, you remember when like Harlem Shake was the big thing?
yeah.
There's another school that my
I
friend
made a
went to,
Harlem Shake.
and they started like a Harlem Shake in the lunchroom, and everybody was in on it. And apparently, it got so big, like people from other floors came, like from it wasn't their lunch period. They just came down, like skipped
Yeah.
class,
To do
and they
it?
came down. There was so many people in the lunchroom making like such chaos that they called in cops to like control the situation.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. And
That
like
sounds
3 kids
fun.
got suspended or something like that.
Wow.
You know, cops. Yeah, fun. Yeah.
They came in with like costumes and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
Speaking of
The cops?
speaking
No,
of
the
Speaking of shitting yourself.
yeah, speaking of shitting myself, Joey was just talking about it. I remember one time I shit myself. It was a complete accident.
Everyone does.
Wait, I'm actually curious. Who was the last person here to shit himself?
It's been a while.
Sophomore year high
It's been
school.
an extremely long
It's
time.
been
Really?
a really long.
Sophomore year high school.
Sophomore year of high school, you shit yourself.
Yeah.
I haven't had normally like
Okay.
once you get into like the teenage years, you have that one shit yet. I haven't had that yet.
I
neither.
thought
So I'm
I
just
was
waiting
the
for that.
oldest, but no, you beat me. I was like, I think I was in 8th grade.
No, that's not
Yeah,
weird.
I was in 8th grade.
Were
I
you
was
sick?
playing basketball.
What?
Were you sick?
I don't know. I was.
Basketball.
It
Or
was
were you just
gym.
bored?
You just like jump up and
Hope
like,
it
Yeah.
wasn't like a whole.
The one I
It
shit-
was gym class, and it was one of those like you had to fart, and it wasn't just a fart.
Oh yeah, those are bad.
I actually, they used to make these candy bars called the Wazoo candy bars, and they were just like the most disgusting, colorful chocolate bar you've ever seen. And when you're like a kid, you're like, I need that right now in my life. And it was like a chocolate bar with like these sour things in it, and I ate it. I begged my mom to buy it for me, and she bought it for me. I ate it and like immediately shit my pants. They made me like lay face down in the car on the way home, so I wouldn't get shit on the seats.
But where did that make your shit ooze back into your butt?
No, it's like it's kind of stationary.
That's not how it happens.
That's how it happens.
You know, the
Is that right
Coriolis
now?
effect makes your shit.
When I shit myself, I was playing basketball and I jumped up for a layup, came back. I jumped up for a layup, and when I came back down, I squatted a little bit, and it was just straight up like,
Just like slipped. Oh,
like it just came out, like it was like,
That was awful.
and I was like, and the thing is that I had like a stomach issue, so it was all water. It was all, and by water, I don't mean like it was diarrhea, squishy. No, it was water. It was yellow water mixed with bits of poop coming out of my ass.
I
was-
hope none of you guys are eating.
And I was like, I was like,
gosh.
shit. And I didn't tell
I
anybody.
get it.
I was embarrassed. I did not tell anybody. People were like, "Are you okay?" I'm just like, "Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom."
Oh my
So
god.
I run. This is in 8th grade. I run to the bathroom. My underwear. It didn't see through my pants.
oh, so
yet.
it didn't like drip down.
It didn't drip
Oh.
down to my pants. It was just caught in my underwear. It was all brown, and I was like, "Oh God!" So then I just took my underwear, I
And threw
wiped
it out?
my ass, and I threw it out. I
Yeah.
couldn't keep
Yeah,
those
so you gotta
underwear.
do-
So then, and in the bathroom they had the brown toilet paper, the brown
the
hand paper,
paper
the,
towel.
the really thick one. So I just took a whole mess of them and I wet it under the sink, and I just kept it in the stall, and I was just like cleaning my shit the whole day. I just walked around without underwear, and like
You feel
I mean,
free?
you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to throw them out.
Yeah.
Did you feel free?
yeah, of course I felt free. I was like, I saved my ass. It didn't seep through my
I
pants.
went
Literally
commando for the
saved your
first. I
ass.
went.
Any chances to have correlation with your shirt?
What? What was my shit?
Basketball camp.
Basketball.
Oh no, this isn't middle school. This is high school.
Okay.
Hold on. I have a funny story about basketball camp. Actually, my dad
I
forced
think
me.
just the fact that you went to basketball camp is a funny story.
Yeah, like my dad forced me to go to basketball camp because he was like, "No, I want you to be active during the summer." I was like, "Whatever."
You picked
So-
basketball?
I kinda. They forced me like one
Oh,
or
I
two
think I know the
games.
story.
You
But
should
I,
have just picked golf.
Oh, I
I
know
did-
exactly what story you're gonna tell.
yeah, I
know
didn't.
exactly
I
what story.
didn't
Don't know this
go.
one.
I didn't go. I mean, I went, but I didn't play. So I was just kind of sitting all the time, and like I maybe went for 1 or 2 shots, but that was only because they made me. But I sat down for almost the entire thing, and then I was really good friends with the people on my team, and our team ended up winning the little tournament thing. And then I told all my friends, I was like, when I go up to get my medal, everybody yell MVP, okay? I was like, everybody yell MVP, say Jose Barrios, he was the best one on the team. So then they're calling up all names, they're like 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place, I think his name was Martinson or Maury or something like that. And they were like, Maury's team, and everybody was like, yeah! And then they were calling up our names, they were like, Justin, this other guy, and then they came up to my name, they were like, Jose Barrios. And everyone was like, yeah! MVP! And I went up and I went to go get my trophy. And then, like, people were like, is this guy really that good?
Yeah.
It's like, is he that good?
Like, he's the real deal.
He's a fucking legend.
And then they were like, and then it was so funny because then after that, like everybody said, they were like, no, he's not the fucking MVP. He was like, he won a trophy for basketball championship by doing absolutely nothing.
Best way to do it.
I was like, this is like the best, maybe like 3 weeks of my life because people were like, were you really that good? I was like, no, I can't fucking play basketball. It was a joke.
Does anyone have something to follow up that? Because I have a basketball story.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that Jose and Joey have basketball stories really makes me laugh. Like I think that's hysterical.
I
feel
used
like
to-
you would have it. or
I
you-
used to have I used to take basketball, like there was like I could say probably a camp when I was through like 3rd grade through
Yeah,
maybe
CYO.
5th grade.
I went to one of your games at St. Thomas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can bleep that.
I'm not.
Man, that church, fuck them, right?
Okay,
Okay,
now
now
wear
we
like
can- now we
different
can
color
believe it.
shirts and shit.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit, I remember I wasn't a good basketball player. Like I thought I wanted to be good, but like no one would pass me the ball, so it was normally just me jogging back and forth and occasionally having the ball if it bounced my way. But I was a good sport. I was just having fun, even though I wasn't getting passed, even though I was just walking around. But I remember vividly this one time where we were facing an opponent and we're jogging back and forth. So I'm at the rim waiting for the ball to drop, hoping if I get it, and our team gets it. So then we turn around and start rushing to our end of the court. And when I turn around, there's a kid laying face down in the middle of the court, laying face down. So I immediately like stop, as opposed to all my teammates and their teammates run out, and I'm looking at the kid face down in the middle of the court. I slowly walk up to him and he's sobbing, he's crying his eyes out, and the coach had to call off the game, and then they lift him up and he screams like everyone in the auditorium heard him. They won't pass me the ball.
Wow, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
God.
We had to have been like 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. all
Can
right.
I have you? Can you commentate every sports game ever? 'Cause that was amazing. I want that.
Yeah, the court.
the yeah.
It vividly just
I was waiting. I was waiting for you to call the opponent the enemies. Like,
But I remember he was. They were a green team. They were
I
green
remember there
team.
used to be this kid in my kindergarten class. It has nothing to do with this, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just a kid crying. So there used to be this kid in my kindergarten class, and he used to cry every day.
Hold on, I have a funny fucking story, please.
He used to cry every day, and the only thing the only
Shut up. Okay.
I'm sorry.
the only thing I ever heard from this kid was him reciting like Eminem songs. For no reason. That was just like the only thing I remember about him. He'd be like, he'd be
Mom spaghetti.
he'd either be crying or like doing something like Eminem related.
What was your story that's making you fucking die
I
over here?
remember one time I could have been like in 3rd grade. There was this kid. I forget. We were presenting something. Like it was something simple, and it was his turn. I forget what his name was. I think it was like Ricardo or something. And he goes up and he's just like sitting there. I mean, he's just standing there and he's saying absolutely nothing. And then we're like, "What's going on, Ricardo?" And then he just goes. He throws throws up on himself. His kid throws up, and it's like the most comical throw up. It's like he was sitting there. He was just standing there, and he was like this. He was just like standing.
The
He was
mic's
like,
up, the
I'm
camera's
sorry. He was just sitting. He was just sitting there, and he was like,
Ah, shit, the camera's off.
it just comes and slips out of his mouth, and it goes all over the floor. I'm sorry, that was the funniest shit I just remembered.
I think that's a good place to cut it.
All right.
No, wait. Speaking of throw up, I just got over food poisoning.
All right, yeah, you said this in the beginning. How's that going?
So what happened was, the camera's off. So what happened was, my girlfriend Brianna, she gave me a bunch of
bleep her name.
food, right?
Make your girlfriend Bob.
Okay, let's just say her name is Bob. Okay, my girlfriend Bobby and
Bobina.
Bobette.
Bobette.
And she gave me a bunch of food from her dorm, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'll take some free food. And one of the things I got was Nutella, and I'm like, oh, I like Nutella, you know. So like the second time, I started getting sick over the last like week or so, right? And I'm looking at my food, and I'm putting the Nutella on my bread. I'm eating it. I look at the Nutella, and it's like sell by date February 3rd, and I'm just like, shit. Fuck.
And what was the date? What was the month?
This was like a week ago. So like April, and I'm like, and I looked it up, and I was like, how good is Nutella by the sell by date? Because there's not really, there's nothing in there that could really go really bad. And they're like a month at most, and I'm like,
I'm dead.
and I'm like, I'm mad at myself because I'm like, I ate this twice.
All right. So
I'm okay now.
Well, thanks guys for tuning in. Sorry the
Projectile
camera
vomit.
went out. Next time we'll definitely have that charged in advance, but we kind of just
Yeah.
did this on the spry.
So just enjoy the Gary saying his poetry slam.
Up in the middle, in the crevices and stuff
Hope
like
you guys
that.
like this
I hope
first
you liked it.
podcast.
I feel like it got better towards the end.
If
I don't care.
if you're watching this on YouTube, it's also going to be on SoundCloud and stuff like that. if
Maybe
you wanna-
iTunes
Maybe
eventually.
iTunes. But definitely
Maybe
check it out on
Yahoo.
YouTube.
Podbean.
MySpace.
No, not Podbean. Fuck Podbean.
Bing.
What the hell is pod?
Bing.
I don't know. That's why I said fuck it.
Hulu.
It's like it's
Bing is a fucking search process.
It's on Google.
Technically,
Netflix.
it is. You just got to search for it.
Google Play.
Right.
Anyways,
LimeWire.
I don't know why I'm looking at where the
LimeWire.
camera was, expecting it to be there. But thanks for tuning in. And any closing thoughts?
If you've never tried kettle cooked Lay's chips, fucking try them. They're delicious. They're like really thick and hard regular chips.
That's what she said.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the dark side of the moon. Cut off on that.
Bye, guys.